first card that we're going to look at is Basri Ket. It's a legendary planeswalker from M21. It's got 2 white mana and 1 generic mana. Its +1 is put a 1/1 counter on up to 1 target creature. It gains indestructible until the end of turn. The -2 is whenever 1 or more non-token creatures attack this turn, create that many 1/1 white soldier creature tokens that are tapped and attacking. And its -6 is you get an emblem with, at the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token, then put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control.
Love it.
Its starting loyalty is 3.
Love it.
I think this card's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really good too, especially in like the white weenie shell.
Yeah. They just got the name wrong was the only problem. Like, it shouldn't have been Basri Ket. It should have been Craig Wesco.
Oh, right. Or maybe
Craig
Gideon.
Wesco.
Yeah.
Maybe Gideon.
Copyright.
Okay, so you guys think this will see play?
Oh, yeah. For sure.
It's gonna go right into Mardu Knights or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah. And the thing is, I don't think aggressive decks are very good right now, but this could be what puts them over the edge. So if it doesn't see play, it's just because aggressive decks just aren't in the meta.
Yeah. Do you think it might see play in like a human shell? You know, I know we're talking about the cards, but I know that Kitesaw Freebooter just got to be reprinted. Do you think like that sort of thing with like General Krujo and like that sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean that's a possibility because General Krujo is a very strong thing. The thing is, the 1/1 white soldier creature tokens are not humans, which is unfortunate. But
there was a Mardu shell running around for a while that would like play a bunch of humans and also play what's her name, Winota.
Right.
And,
oh yeah.
You know, that show's pretty strong. I think this card will also be insane with like venerated Loxodon decks.
Oh yeah. Well, that'll be for like what, 3 months, right?
Yeah, I mean, sure, but venerated Loxodon is still in standard somehow. It just blows my mind.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, and I think that one thing is that the soldiers come into play already attacking, so they wouldn't trigger Winota, but I still think this would go hand in hand with a deck like that.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Good card.
All right. The second card that we're going to look at is Mangara the Diplomat. It's another one, another mythic here in white. It's got 3 generic mana and 1 white. It's a 2/4 legendary creature. It's got lifelink, and it says whenever an opponent attacks with creatures, if 2 or more of those creatures are attacking you and or a planeswalker you control, draw a card. Whenever an opponent casts their second spell each turn, draw a card. So how do you guys feel about this one?
I think it's like great color wise. Like they finally figured out what white can do besides like randomly gain life. But like I don't think it's good enough to see play.
You don't think so? You don't think? What about a sideboard?
I mean, maybe. I just like white is so bad in these kind of strat. Like white cards that do this are just like what deck wants this, right? Like Bant Ramp doesn't care. Like maybe a Marty Human kind of shell like wants this, but like your opponent is never gonna attack you.
Right.
And if they're casting their second spell each like on a turn, then you're probably already losing, you know?
I just got a gift from Zoom apparently. Sorry, it just popped up on my share screen. So there.
Yeah, I saw it. We all saw it.
All right.
But I really don't think this card's gonna see that much play either. I think if anything, it'll be a sideboard card, but I just don't think it's that great.
Well, because like Marty Humans is going to be fast and aggressive, and if they reach turn 4, they're probably losing anyway. Like,
yeah, exactly.
If you're playing this on turn 4 and going into turn 5 and 6, trying to like go card for card against like control, you're not going to win regardless.
Yeah, if you're playing like this instead of like Embercleave or something, you're feeling bad. I think it's a good commander card personally.
Oh, probably, yeah.
I think that's I think that's where it's gonna find its home. All right. The next one is gonna be Baneslayer Angel, an old classic. It costs 2 white mana and 3 generic. Just a creature, big old angel, a 5/5 that has flying, first strike, lifelink, protection from demons and dragons.
That's a great card. That's bomb. I mean, we saw that Lyra was not, I wouldn't say format dominating, but like had a large impact on formats, and this is almost the same card. So
right.
All right, well, I'm gonna disagree with you on that one, Gabe, because until Teferi rotates, this card is unplayable garbage.
You think so?
Yeah, I can see his argument there.
Yeah.
Like, how is this better than Uro at anything?
I guess you're right. I guess that's a good point for the meta right now. But I think once the meta shifts, especially if an aggressive deck does form, I think this card will be like A1.
Yeah, I mean, Gabe brings up a good point actually. Like turn 3 Uro, turn 4 Baneslayer Angel. Like, I mean, that's like.
I mean, I guess, but that's just overkill. Like, you can Uro into Uro, and that's still just as good against aggro. Yeah. Like,
well, no, you can't Uro into Uro. What you talking about? Like, just like play 2 Uros and have nothing to block with? What are you talking about?
No, I mean, you can Uro. No, like, you don't have to play Uro into turn 3. You can play Uro turn 7 or 8. I mean, whatever.
Yeah. I'm talking about like turn 3 to turn 4.
Right. So you play Uro, and then it just goes away, and then you have no blockers. What are you talking about, dude? I'm confused.
No, I'm just saying, like, escaping Uro against aggro is going to be as good or better than Baneslayer Angel.
Right, but escaping Uro is going to be way harder than just playing Baneslayer Angel.
Not necessarily. My point. It's like the same turn.
No, it isn't. There's no way you're escaping Uro on turn 5.
Yeah,
I mean, it's possible.
Oh, I'm talking about turn 3, play Uro, and then turn 4, play Baneslayer. How many times do you escape Uro on turn 4?
Yeah, how many times does that happen?
Probably 0, but on turn 5, I've escaped it a lot.
Oh, yeah. Really?
But
all you do is turn 3 Uro, turn 4 Tamiyo, or like any number of Fable Passages.
Well, yeah, of course. But like, I'm talking about just like if you have lands in your hand and your hand is 5 lands, Uro, Baneslayer Angel, I'm gonna play that every time, right? Because.
Yeah, but Gabe's saying that Baneslayer Angel is not even going to be good right now, and that's probably true because you're right. Because Teferi does just bounce it. And it doesn't get you any value, and that's probably totally true. But I think, like, in the future, I mean, and Lyra, I think, did become a sideboard card, towards the end of it.
Lyra was only even any good when people didn't know about it, because Red would just bring in, like, Fight with Fire and immediately kill it if they knew what was going on.
Yeah, that's why I switched to the kitty cats, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you're probably right. But I think once the format changes, if it does get more aggressive, this will become, like, a solid – I guess you're right. Maybe just a sideboard card.
Yeah. All right. Next card is going to be Basri's Lieutenant, and I just closed it out. Hold on. It's going to be 1 white and 3. Let me get it up here. Sorry, give me a second. I have failed us. It's going to be 1 white and 3 generic. It's a human knight. It's a 3/4, and it says has vigilance and protection from multicolored. Whenever Basri's Lieutenant enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Whenever Basri's Lieutenant or another creature you control dies, if it had a +1/+1 counter on it, create a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance.
This card is bananas.
I think it's super bananas.
Really? You think so?
Yeah. This card is going to make knights playable.
Yeah.
Why?
Protection for multicolored is just so good.
Yeah, I mean, like, Uro can't attack into it. Well, I can. I mean, you still get your trigger, but Teferi can't touch it.
Yeah, Teferi can't bounce it. Like, I can remember the number of games that I've lost to just like a 5/5 Stonecall Serpent against Bant. Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
And this is just all of that except actual cards. And like, if you Wrath, you have like, this is like the white version of Annex.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just don't think it does enough. I don't think it does enough like things, you know what I mean? Like a 3/4 just to me isn't going to do much.
I mean, it can be a 4/5 if that's the only card you have in play.
That's true. Yeah.
But I mean, this
I don't know. I don't see it doing anything. Yeah, I just don't see this card being that great personally. I think it's too expensive for the amount of power that it gives out.
All right. Okay. So Gabe is for Baneslayer. I'm for Basri's Lieutenant. So
yeah, you got to keep the record. We got to keep the record.
Exactly. Yeah. So we'll split down the middle here and see who's right. Sure.
And I'm just for all big green cards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I think we can all agree that big green cards would be better than any of this anyway. But
yeah,
true. Green is.
They're going to gain you 20 life and everything else.
Yeah.
All right. So are we on a 50-50 consensus on this card?
I mean, I think it's fine. I mean, I could be wrong, but I just don't think it's going to be that great. Because I just don't know what you're playing this in. Unless, again, this would require an aggressive shell to come out. And I just don't, you know what I mean? Like, and if that did come out, then great. But otherwise, I don't know what you're playing this card in. Are you playing it in Bant?
Like, I don't think so.
No, definitely not.
I think it's going to be a night shell or a human shell.
Right.
And it could potentially be the same deck as Basri Ket or whatever. Like, it could just be mono white. There could be a mono white deck.
That's true. That's true. Okay, let's move on.
Cool. The next one we're going to look at is Containment Priest. This is also older card. It's 1 white, 1 generic mana human cleric with flash. It says if a non-token creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, exile it instead. It's a 2/2. To me, this is just like insane against Uro. So
yeah, but I don't think it's
do anything.
Yeah, I don't I don't think. Well, it doesn't do anything. It's Uro because you do cast it, right?
Not from the graveyard, you don't. Right?
Yes, you do.
No, I'm pretty sure you do.
Alternate casting cost.
It's an alternate casting cost.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
but if it wasn't cast from your hand, okay.
Yeah. Right. I don't think this is a standard card. I think this is going to be impactful maybe in modern. And I think, again, it would only be a sideboard card. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I've seen people that play humans like kind of freaking out about Containment Priest. It is good in certain matchups, but it is a nombo with Aether Vial, so it's a little awkward.
True.
I'm trying to...
That's going to happen, man. Yeah. It's going to be so funny, too, when it happens.
Yeah, someone's going to flash this in with mana and then instant vial in their own card and exile it and be like, oh, yes. The combo is assembled.
Yeah, I guess this card, I wonder if they put this card in like when Luca, Agent of Treachery, that whole mess was going on.
This is classic Wizards where they like make a card that's too powerful like energy and then print like an answer in the next set when it's already banned.
Yeah. True.
They made that like 1/4 that stopped players from getting energy after energy was already banned.
Yeah, or they lost all the control. It's like Sun Chaser or something like that. Yeah, no, I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, I think that's going to be a dope sideboard card for modern and Pioneer.
Yeah, for sure. All right, next card is Glorious Anthem. It says creatures you control get +1/+1. It's 2 white mana and 1 generic instant enchantment. I think it's solid in a mono white shell.
Yeah, I mean, just more stuff for Basri Ket and Basri's Lieutenant, all that stuff is just gonna.
This goes great with Basri Ket because all those little 1/1s you make are gonna be 2/2s, and that's way better.
Yeah, now we just need like actual 1-drops. Like there's that 2/1 that dies and puts a counter on something.
The Dauntless Bodyguard.
Decent. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be enough good white cards to make a good aggro deck, I think.
I think so too. Which brings us back to the Basri's Lieutenant. You might be right. It might be good. If a good aggro shell comes out.
Oh no! You already said it's bad.
Oh, I think it's a bad card, but I think it would require a good aggro shell to come out for it to even be good. But if that happens, then Baneslayer Angel is going to be good too.
Yeah, I mean that's who knows, right? Because it says it puts the counter on 1 creature you control, but you could already have counters on all your guys. So if you go like Venerated Loxodon into Lieutenant, then you're wrath proof.
That's true.
Like you just did everything.
Yeah.
So who knows?
But yeah, Glorious Anthem. We've seen anthems like this in the past be decent.
Isn't this just an actual reprint?
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good cards are good, guys. Remember that. All right. Next one is going to be Idol of Endurance. It's 1 white mana, 2 generic. It's an artifact with a lot of text. When Idol of Endurance enters the battlefield, exile all creature cards with converted mana costs 3 or less from your graveyard until Idol of Endurance leaves the battlefield. And then so there's a casting, or not a casting cost, but a cost to like tap it, which is 1 white and 1 generic. You tap it, and then until the end of turn, you may cast a creature spell from among the creature cards exiled with Idol of Endurance without paying its mana cost. There's a lot of words, dudes.
I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is just abusing Uro with this.
Yeah.
You play the first half, and then you just rinse and repeat until you get bored, and then bounce it with your own Teferi or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a tough one, honestly, because I don't think it'll be good. Do you guys think this will see play?
I mean, someone's gonna try the thing I said with Uro. I don't think it's worth doing all that.
Dude, people will try anything. You know what I mean?
No, sure.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think it's also 5 mana to like.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I don't think it's a turn 3 card. I think it's a turn 5 card.
I mean, I don't know. It could be like a Luris replacement almost.
Yeah, you play Knights, right? So like Gabe, you were talking about with Basri Lieutenant, like at like turn 4, if you like you suck and like you just ran out of cards and you don't have anything, and you top deck this on turn 5 and you play it, and then all of a sudden you have gas again. Like you like it doesn't like you can keep playing. You know, it's not you're not dead on turn 5.
Wait,
Yeah,
but does this doesn't work with Uro, does it?
Yeah,
I mean, it would, right?
I mean, it would go straight back to the graveyard.
Yeah, you would just loop it every turn.
Oh, okay, right. So okay, but you wouldn't be able to cast it. I got you. Okay,
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't still be in exile.
This is like a replacement for Luris.
But you couldn't loop it either, right? Like, because it wouldn't be in exile anymore.
Right.
That's true. I guess it wouldn't be under the idol after the first.
Right.
Yeah, this card's lame. I don't think it's gonna
Yeah.
be good. I don't think it's gonna be good at all. I mean, I don't know. I really don't see it.
The only way it seems good to me is like in the sideboard to like not counter, but to like play against board wipes, right? So like on turn 4, they board wipe all your stuff. On your turn 5, you play this, and you still have a little bit of wiggle room rather than just being dead.
I mean, you get to play the card without the mana cost, so you can just like every turn this is on the battlefield, it represents another body. Like
that's true. So
that's what I'm saying. It's like
yeah, that's true.
So I think I might see play. Might not.
Yeah, I might see play. It could be good. Maybe a sideboard card against like for value or whatever, or one of or two of.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
The problem with white cards is they're all like very situational, so
Yeah.
it's very hard to like say this is a good card.
Right.
Yeah. I could see a one of or two of in some decks of this one.
Yeah. So
you can cast Hydro Crisis, tap it and cast Hydro Crisis for 0. That'd be nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't think I want to do that. All right. The next one is going to be 9 lives. It's 2 white and 1 generic mana. And it's an enchantment that is hexproof, and it says if a source would deal damage to you, prevent that damage and put an incarnation counter on 9 lives. If there are 9 or more incarnation counters on 9 lives, exile it. When 9 lives leaves the battlefield, you lose the game.
Simba.
I think this card is not good, and I don't think it'll see play.
Yeah, it's definitely a meme, but I've looked on Twitter and everyone's freaking out about like it possibly beating Team Erek because they just don't have that many ways to hit you.
That's true. That's true.
It could.
But the thing is, Team Erek can always like. No, yeah, I mean that's a good point.
They could always like make a shark and hit you with it 9 times.
Yeah.
They can do that, like, but.
Yeah, this card, if this card is going to be good, it's definitely against Team Erek.
Yeah.
But again, another sideboard card. All these white cards are freaking sideboard cards.
Right. And they could always, like, if Team Erek really wants to, they can expansion explosion you for 40 and have you draw your deck or whatever.
That's true. And I've played that deck and I've won like that many times. So
yeah.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
All right. Card's bad?
I think it's bad.
Okay. All right. Next
one.
Cat,
though, so it's got to be,
Yeah.
Next one.
Meme value in there.
Well, of course you think it's bad. Cats kill.
Oh, I'm a dog person, honestly.
Yeah.
Speaking of dogs, Pack Leader.
Love it, dude.
The goodest of boys. It's 1 white mana, 1 generic. Other dogs you control get +1/+1, and whenever Pack Leader attacks, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn to dogs you control. So I think this card is probably super good in a dog deck.
Yeah, if there is a dog deck, this card is sick.
Dude,
I mean, look, dude, I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to cheat a little bit and scroll down a little bit. There's a dog, like not even that far away. That's a 2 mana 2/2 with vigilance. So
wow,
we're getting there, guys.
Well, yeah. Well, so with that being said, there's also another dog somewhere that whenever you play it, you go into your deck and get 2 more dogs. Like it seems like
I will tell you that a creature that pumps all your other creatures and prevents all combat damage dealt to them is really, really strong. And especially for 2 mana and making it a 2/2. The only thing is that this would require dogs to be good.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. Like,
yeah, but check this out. Are you ready?
Yeah.
If you play Tajic all non-combat damage is prevented. Like, look at that, dude.
Whoa.
Yeah,
There
right.
you go. Just
But
prevent all the damage.
Tagic's not a
anything.
dog.
It doesn't matter. I don't care. You just never
That
attack with
matters.
it. You never attack with it, dude. What are you talking about?
I think this is going to be like a
If you
card
like-
that sees barely any play, but some guy is going to have a mono dogs deck and draft, and then open this from pack 3, and you're just going to
And that guy's me.
lose to
Look,
him every time. Yeah.
If you like having fun playing Magic, you're gonna play pack leader.
Well, hold on, slow down. I said if there's a good dog deck, you know what I mean. Don't dismiss the pups. Just like
dude.
that.
But aren't all dogs the goodest of dogs?
Of course.
Okay, so
All right, Gabe, you can play your dog, your 2/2 for 2, and I'll play Uro and Hydrocrisis for 8, and then we'll see who goes.
You're already dead by then, dude.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
We'll see. No, I think this would just require a good dog deck. And
yeah.
I don't think there's gonna be a good dog deck, but we'll see.
Do all my dogs at the table with me get +1/+1? I guess we'll find out. All right, next card is another reprint. It's gonna be Ruined Halo. It's 2 white mana. It's an enchantment. It says, as Ruined Halo enters the battlefield, choose a card name. You have protection from the chosen card. And the first one that I'm going to name is Expansion Explosion.
There you go.
Yeah. And then it gets
Then you draw all the cards in your deck. But
No, they can't target you, so they can't.
oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It would have to be like a Brazen Borrower or something to get rid
Yeah.
of this.
It gets a Brazen Borrower and then you just die. I
So,
don't know.
but-
I don't think this card's very good.
Yeah, it would have to be what's
I mean,
yeah.
it would have to be in some kind of like mono white shell. Like I could see. No, I don't. I haven't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know any
Yeah.
situation in which this card is like good. It's a niche card. Like
I think it would be like a control sideboard card against Team Wreck where it's like they name Expansion Explosion
yeah.
and then they just have to deal with creatures at that point.
Because even in an aggressive shell, like you don't want to
take turns
play
off
this
the
because if
players.
you give yourself protection from some card that you're worried about, your creatures don't have protection from it, so it's hard to attack.
Right.
No, yeah. I mean, I think Austin's right though. If you play this in like blue-white, like you can just name Expansion Explosion, or and then in modern, like people play this card in multiples, and there's certain decks that can't beat 2 of these. Like if you play against green red Titan Shift and you name like Valakut and Primeval Titan, they just can't do anything.
Yeah, that's true. But that's in modern. I feel like in standard, there's a lot of ways to get around it, especially with the Expansion Explosion deck.
There's not though. There's just not that many ways to win the game. They win with either Shark Typhoon, Expansion Explosion, or Oro Beats.
Can you name Shark with this?
No, but they're never gonna
No,
kill
but
you
you're
with one shark. Like, if you're in blue-white and you die to a single shark or whatever, then that's your fault.
Right. Like
Yeah.
Turning off.
I mean, I see what you're
Expansion
saying.
Explosion is probably going to be the.
I just think you got to remember that. I think the way you're looking at it is like you're playing, Team Wreck, and then boom, someone's like Ruined Halo, and you're like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? But if Ruined Halo becomes part of like the meta, and then they can play, they can, dude, they can. There's so many ways to deal with it. You know what I mean? And I just
yeah. I know,
you know-
I know what you're saying, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
like in my mind, I'm playing that in the sideboard for that just in case.
maybe, but I mean, like all it takes is one Brazen Borrower and then one Expansion Explosion to kill them. You know what I mean?
Right.
And this does nothing against any other deck, right? Like,
That's true.
yeah,
I don't
like
think
this
it
would
would
be
be played
only
as
for
anything.
Team Wreck.
Right.
But people do hate that deck, so people are going to try it for sure.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
And again, if an aggressive shell comes out, I think this is pretty solid against, like, you know what I mean? Against aggressive shells.
Yeah.
It's basically just 2 mana. I don't care about your stuff anymore.
Right. All right. So narrow, and that's the only way it's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be every white card.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Next one is Speaker of the Heavens. It's a 1/1 for 1 white mana. It's a human cleric with vigilance and lifelink. And you tap it and create a 4/4 white angel token with flying. Activate this ability if you have at least 7 life or more than your starting life total, and can only do it whenever you can cast a sorcery. Again, I feel like this is a super narrow card, but if there's a humans thing, I mean, having vigilance and lifelink and the Basri's lieutenant putting a 1/1 counter on it, and then you could put a 1/1 counter on it with Basri Ket. I mean, it could be really good.
Yeah, the only way I see this card being good is if there's like if the aggressive white deck also has like a life gain theme with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I
No,
think
That's
mean,
the only way. Otherwise, I think this card's just bad.
My
It's-
take on this is after a few seasons of not playing Arena, I'm going to be demoted to Silver and then play against a Johnny's Primate with this guy, and he's just going to go nuts.
For sure.
He's
For
going to
sure.
have a great time until he gets wrath and then lose immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's turn 1 this, turn 2 Johnny's Pride Mate, turn 3 Basri Ket, put a counter on speaker, make it indestructible, attack again. You have a 4/4 and a 2/2 and a Planeswalker. I mean, like,
And you still lose very easily.
yeah.
Just shatter this guy.
Yeah.
They get to draw a card though.
Yeah, dude.
They can draw as
so
many cards as they want.
That is the last
White rare.
white rare. I did go through some of the uncommons, and I picked some that might be good for limited, might be good for standard. So the first one I want to look at, I don't know if you guys have any others that you want to just let me know, but the first one that I want to look at that I think will see some sort of play is going to be Angelic Ascension. It's a 1 colorless, 1 white, an instant that says exile target creature or planeswalker. Its controller creates a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying.
Yeah, this card is great.
Yeah, you can target your own stuff with it, which I think is nuts, right? So they're attacking your planeswalker and it's going to die anyways. Just exile it. You make a 4/4, and then block their 3/3 and kill it. Like,
Yeah. You can also exile like one of their planeswalkers and then just bounce the 4/4 with the fairy.
Yeah, exactly. And then they can't, cast anything back because you're playing Teferi. What's more broken than that? So I think this card's disgusting.
I think it's fine. I wouldn't say disgusting. I don't think I would not be surprised.
Yeah, disgusting is the wrong word.
I would not be surprised if this card never saw any play. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I think it just could is the catch.
Yeah.
Well, I think that the mono white deck, if it exists, is going to play this card for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. If the mono white deck exists, then yeah.
They're going to play for this in the main deck if a mono white deck exists.
To cast it on your own stuff, not even.
Yeah, or like, usually when a mono white deck loses is because they play a planeswalker and then a few turns later you're just buried in card advantage.
Right. I mean, how are you going to beat a 7/7 Johnny's Primate? All right. Next card is going to be Falconer Adept. This card just seems really good in limited to me. But that's just to me. So 1 white, 3 colorless. When Falconer Adept attacks, create a 1/1 white bird token with flying that's tapped and attacking. So it's really...
Yeah, it's a good limited card, but that's it.
Yeah. So I'm just... Anything.
I mean,
that's
I think it's fine.
Yeah, it's honestly not even that great in limited. Like, it's because most of the time you're going to get a 1/1 bird and then it's just going to die.
It's a 4-mana 2/3 and it has to attack and
because it's attacking on turn 5.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I think it's okay. That's what I'm saying. Good limited card.
Get this out of my sight.
All right.
Yeah, we vetoed that one off. And
And then the last one is Defiant Strike. I think
this is already in standard, no?
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
Defiant Strike, dude. All these cards are in standard.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Can we talk about Concordia Pegasus real quick?
We should.
Sure.
Pegasus.
Flying 1/3 for 2 mana. It's pretty good.
All right.
What about on a serious note though? What about Revitalize?
That it flies. It's pretty good.
What about Revitalize?
Oh, I mean, this card was only somewhat playable when there was a Turbo Fog deck.
Yeah.
In standard, I just don't think it does. Like, this is half of an Uro, but just 1 less mana. Like,
at instant speed.
I guess. I mean, I can't imagine a world where you play this instead of Uro.
No, you wouldn't play it instead of Uro, but you maybe in a different deck where you're not playing Uro. You know what I mean?
Or like, what deck would want this that doesn't play Uro?
Like control deck.
Yeah.
They should probably just play Uro at that point.
You think so?
I think Blue White should just stop existing, but in the current meta, it just seems worse. But
this is just one of my favorite cards. It's 2 mana, 1 colorless, 1 white. Instant, you gain 3 life and draw a card. This is one of my favorite cards. I think it's awesome. I love just replacement effects that also get you a little value. I love it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, if I'm playing this card, I'm gonna play it probably in a deck with like Shark Typhoon, right? And like sometimes you on turn 2 you cast Shark Typhoon just for like draw a card, right? So casting this is better than casting Shark Typhoon, I think. To just draw a card.
Yeah. For me, it's like you're playing a control shell and you're just cycling, but you also want to gain a little bit of life, because that's in when you're playing control, life is your resource. So
yeah, I mean, this is the only deck that's going to play this is straight up blue-white.
Yeah.
It's going to be in the sideboard.
Yeah.
So.
Or a mono white control with like ruined halos.
Yeah, but I mean, I just don't know if this is better or worse than something like a glass casket or something,
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think in a deck like that, you would probably play both.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway.
Cool. On to the blue cards?
Yeah.
All right. Let me get them all set up here.
On to the blue cards.